to the first edition of GPISD News. I'm Alex Orende.
And I'm Michelle Hill, and we'll be bringing you the latest stories and events from all over the Grand Prairie Independent School District.
GPISD News is broadcast from the DeBisky Career High School Media Tech Studio. Grand Prairie and South Grand Prairie media students will also be contributing stories. Thank you for joining us today.
Our first story comes to us from GP. Across the country, negative news coming from high schools seems to make headlines, but this story shows how far one student goes to help a fellow Gopher's dream come true.
So tell me how this came about that you ended up helping him the way that you did.
We came back for our competition, and then he started crying in the bus, and I was just like, why? Because he made a 1 in his solo, and that's the top thing you can get. And then I asked him, and he's like, my mom texted me saying we need $250 more to go to Juilliard for his auditions. And I stayed quiet for a little bit. I mean, I knew from that moment that I was going to lend him the money, but I wanted to wait till we get home. He was crying a lot, so I told him, I was like, what are you doing crying? You know I'm going to give you the money to go, because, I mean, ever since freshman year, he's been there for me, so you know, you can't just let a friend not complete his dreams.
How'd that make you feel to help him out like that?
I mean, he's my best friend, so it's just something that you do daily basis.
And Zagi told me that you've been kind of going through your own, issues financially, and you had to get a part-time job and everything, right?
Yeah, I had some issues. I was gonna go from to school to online schooling so I can get a job and actually earn some money for my family. But my family said that it'll be okay to stay in school. But yeah, I have a part-time job. But I mean, it doesn't matter, I believe in him, and so I knew that it was the right thing to do.
Darius, how did it make you feel? Obviously, I mean, you're touched, I can tell.
It made me feel like it just, I don't know, there's no words to explain how much of a great best friend he is to be able to sit there and give me that money, because I was sitting there crying for a while, and for him to do that, it meant so much. I couldn't even talk. All I could do was cry. And he even asked me why I was crying, and it meant the world to me to have a best friend like him in my life.
Wilson Vialta.
Darius Freeman.
I am GPISD.
That really was an awesome thing to do. You're never too old to learn something new. And that's something behind DeBisky's adult education classes, now open to the public.
Here at DeBisky Career High School, there is a wide range of adult education workshops being held to encourage lifelong learning. Ms. Booth has talked to us about how GPISD is reaching out to this community.
So our adult or community education program is an opportunity for us to invite the community in, for students to teach the community some of the skills that they're learning here at DeBisky and make a little money for their program while they're doing it. And we all know that when you teach something, you learn it in a different way. So I think it's going to be a great benefit for our students in that way, but also a great benefit for our community. This particularly, I think, is a great way to dabble in some things that might be fun or might be different than what you normally do. But in a broader sense, it's important to always seek out ways to remake yourself and to challenge yourself.
Remember, it's never too late to learn. From DeBisky Career High School, I'm Danny for GPISD News.
In case you missed it, a lot of things are going on in the district. This past Saturday, GP hosted the Symposium at Turner Gym. Pre-K through high school student teams used science, technology, engineering, and math skills to solve all types of problems in competition. There was a great turnout, and it was streamed live on YouTube.
The Destination Imagination team, Owl Spies, from the School for the Highly Gifted, took first place at their regional competition last weekend and will be competing at the state tournament in Lubbock. Good luck, guys.
And way to go, Cadence. She wrote a letter to IHOP for a class project, telling them how much she liked their food, and IHOP was so cool they treated the class to breakfast. And one more shout out to Karina from the wrestling team at South. Karina placed 5th at the state meet recently.
South AV students Yamilet Alba, Sierra Ramirez, and Joe Ortiz turned in this story about some Bowie Elementary students learning more about science and math at the Natural Science Education Center.
I'm Miss Shaw. We're from Bowie Elementary, and right now we're working on a math objective, which is perimeter, and they're doing perimeter of the raised gardens, and they're doing an estimate first of how long they think it's going to be, and then secondly, they're really doing it. They're getting their measuring sticks and measuring, and then they're going to get a total of the perimeter.
My third graders are working on observing the nature around the nature center, twigs, flowers. They're using microscopes and hand lenses. They're drawing what they're seeing, they're writing it down, they're visualizing everything, they're writing in sentences. And this really benefits them because they don't have time to really explore with the science tools back in our classroom.
I'm Miss Feltz, and we're learning about animal tracks right now. Just got to the nature center, and I think it's a great experience for all kids to go to. They learn more about the outdoors and nature and how you can apply the content that we learned in the classroom to the nature.
The kids are learning, they're going through pellets, and then they're dissecting the little pellets and just going through all the bones and then matching it up on the bone chart. And then they're trying to figure out what animals the owl has eaten, and then they're trying to figure out where exactly those bones belong in the different animals that the owl has eaten.
I learned that owl can eat so many animals, and the things that he doesn't eat, throws it out, and that becomes a pellet.
South had a special visit from some first responders recently. Richard Mitchell and Tanner Arnold take us there.
Hello, my name is Richard Mitchell, and this is GPISD News. And right now we're here with Brandon Jones from the Grand Prairie Fire Department. And right now he has students from GP Firefighter Academy, and he's going to be answering a couple of questions. Brandon, what does it mean to you to be a firefighter?
Firefighting is the greatest job in the world. It's very rewarding. We get to be involved with the community, like now, try to get the young folks involved to also follow that community service role. There's really not a boring aspect of our job. It's physically demanding, so we got to stay in shape and we get to work out. We do get to interact with the community quite a bit with young and old, so with high school students, and we also interact with some of our elderly community. It's just a very rewarding occupation that has allowed a lot of us to provide good lives for our families and just really have a good sense of pride and accomplishment when we go to work every day.
I want to become a firefighter to like help out with the community whenever I get older, because that's always something I've wanted to do.
I joined this program because I wanted to help people out, and I mean the fire department helps people out, and I've just looked up to them as my role models for life.
We hope you enjoyed this first edition of GPISD News. If you have a lead you believe we should follow, please send us an email to gpisdnews@gpisd.org.
From all of us here at GPISD News, thanks for watching.